These are our,
What did you just say?
Here
How about just our 5 biggest?
our 5 biggest IVF regrets.
Hi, I'm Brett.
And I'm Stephen.
And we're the Broadway Husbands. And if you don't know us, we had our son 2 years ago through surrogacy and IVF. And as you know, IVF is a hot topic these days. Number 5, you only end up with a very small amount of embryos. Small amount of embryos that are viable.
Because I think the amount of eggs that were extracted were maybe between, what was it, close to 30 or something like that. And then the embryos that took were maybe like 11 or 12, and then it was a fraction of that.
It definitely adds to the pressure
of it.
Because you're like, well, I only have these 5 chances.
And some people have less or maybe a little bit more, but it's
we have a friend who ended up with one embryo.
And
it took.
So
it only takes one.
But it just puts a lot of pressure.
Number 4.
We wish the first one had taken.
That was a moment where I think some people don't realize how much a miscarriage affects
everyone
not
involved.
just the person carrying, but everyone. We were very depressed for
a while.
Long time.
And it's also one of those things that happened because in that moment we were in Texas, our gestational carrier was in Orlando, and then our fertility doctor is in Connecticut. So we have this removed communication happening, and everything takes a little bit longer to get the real communication. So everything just felt so out of our hands, and we felt so just helpless, like I couldn't do anything. So it was a really hard moment because there's nothing you can do. And also I think it was like a downward part of the roller coaster ride that having a baby through surrogacy is, that I don't think we had really anticipated, and because there were so many ups and downs already, and that was like really upset. I don't know, I can't think of the word. Number 3.
We wish we had done a open donation with our egg donor. That's something I think at the time we weren't even sure was an option, but now that we're at this stage in the process of knowing our son, I wish he was able to access his egg donor if he wanted to, so that he could find out who they were. That would be probably one of the biggest things I would suggest, just because the mystery and there's something so open and honest and in having integrity around being open. Now, I don't know that this person would have donated their eggs if it was an open donation situation. She probably wanted it to be anonymous, which we respect completely.
I honestly can't remember. Did we have the option?
Not with her, right? That would have been a different pool of people. We're very glad the way that it worked out.
It was the perfect donor for us.
And if like all this genetic stuff keeps advancing the way that like 23andMe and stuff like that, I don't think he'll have a problem finding her if he wants. But I just wish for my own peace of mind, I knew how to access that person if we wanted to.
Number 2, we were ignorant to the cost of IVF. We went into the process without having really had like a ballpark range, but we just really had no idea how much it was going to cost. And the good thing about IVF for us was that when we made our eggs, we were able to, first payment was really not that big.
No.
And then the second payment was, and we weren't really ready for it. We were able to figure it all out. Honestly, for me, I think it was kind of helpful. I don't think it's helpful, but for me, living in that denial of how much it was going to cost, no, the surprise of it and the fact that we were able to cover it was good. But I think if we had known precisely the cost, we could have planned a little bit more effectively. Just so make sure you're...
Also, health insurance should cover part of this. Let's just be honest. It feels like discriminatory that for gay families, if we want to be able to build our family, that our insurance doesn't cover any of it.
Any of it.
Not a portion.
Just to test your sperm.
That's it.
Number 1!
We wish we had done it
Sooner.
I think that if we had started the process, I don't know, earlier on in our lives,
even if we weren't gonna move forward right away, I think if it would have just been more helpful to just
get the information.
The moment that we were the conversation about having a baby, to just do some sort of action towards it, because it doesn't happen overnight. And so it's better to just, if you have the idea that you want to be a father or be a parent, go right now and see what you can do. And if you want to do IVF or go through surrogacy, figure out how you are going to make those embryos today.
And the way I think about IVF and for people who maybe feel like there's something wrong with them because they have to do IVF, just remember that, or at least the way I think about it and reframe it for our child, there were a lot of people who really wanted him to be born, and they were all working in those offices and helping us make it happen. And you can't say that about a lot of children. What about you? Have you done IVF, or are you curious about IVF and surrogacy and any of that stuff? Let us know down in the comments section below. And if you like this video, make sure you click subscribe and say hello to us on Instagram or TikTok, because we love to meet our followers. Thanks for watching.
Bye. Dang, killed it.